Welcome to Stark Days, the Diary of Reggie Stark. This podcast was written and performed by Ezekiel Robison. It was produced by Funky Monkey Voiceover. Visit us at funkymonkeyvo.com.
Okay, so it's another entry in the diary, saying hello to my diary and getting all of this craziness out of my brain. I think it's starting to help just a little bit. I think the doctors were right. It's starting to feel like it's a little shot to my brain, like making me feel, not like a gun or nothing, not a gun to the brain. It's like a shot with the drugs in it, Well, not the bad drugs, the drugs that make you feel better, the antidepressants and what. Well, not that I'm depressed. Anyway, okay, so here we go. Dear Diary, this is entry number 3. Today is January. And I have to say, Diary, I'm feeling pretty good, okay? I feel like I'm starting to get my things together. It didn't start off that way today, though, because, to be honest, it was completely the opposite, all right? I woke up this morning, and I felt like my life was like a hoarder house or something. You know how there's just shit everywhere, and that's how I felt in my life. There was just shit everywhere. Everywhere I turned, there was shit. And I was constantly walking my little path in life through my shit house and trying to not step on things and just get around stuff, and stuff's falling on me and I'm trying to dive out of the way. And so I just decided, Reggie, for your own sanity, you gotta get out of your damn house, okay? Not that I'm a hoarder. Oh, no. Everything is organized. I wouldn't know anything about being a hoarder. I just remember seeing it on TV. So I decided I was gonna go out. I was going to go out and give myself a little reprieve from just my life and pretend that I was not who I was. So I'm out driving around town. Oh, yes, I was driving. Don't tell anybody, Diary, but my trike is still all banged up. So I had to take the wagon that I have, my nice little wagon, but don't worry, nobody saw me. So I'm driving around, and you know how when you leave food out on the counter, the healthy stuff, like the peas and the celeries and the broccolis and tomatoes, those little ones, the grape-sized ones. You don't really want to eat that, but it's there, so you start shoving that shit in your mouth, Well, that's how I feel about Walmart. I was out driving around, and I drove past a Walmart, and I saw it there, and I hate Walmart. I don't like to shop there, but it was there. It was my little tomato on the counter. And so I was like, oh, shit, Reggie, just go on inside. It's okay. You'll be all right. Just go look at things and imagine what it would be like to own some of these fancy electronics, or look through their craft stuff or whatever. You'll feel better about yourself. Oh, okay. I talked myself into this. This is great. So I parked my wagon, and I went in, and I got one of those carts, and I pushed in, and there's the little old guy saying, like, welcome to Walmart or whatever. I'm like, hey, okay, thanks, whatever. So I'm pushing my way through the store, okay? Now, here's a little background, Diary. I live in a place that is diverse. There is some diversity here, but there is also a really strong, how do I say this, religious influence. And not just religious, I mean like a particular religiousness to it. Now, I'm not judgmental. I don't care what you believe. I don't care if you believe in the touchdown Jesus, or I don't care if you're one of those people who believe that there was an alien ship flying behind that Hale-Bopp comet that was going to take you away. I don't care if that's what you believed. I don't care if you pound on rocks and beat drums and eat bark. I don't care. I will not judge you by that. So this is not a judgmental story. However, there are some women that belong to this particular church, of which there are a lot of these women, and they're all friends, I swear to God, they're all friends, and when they see each other out in the community, at stores and whatever, they like to stop and talk to each other, which is fine, that's great, socialize, make friends. I have a hard time doing it, so good for you, more power to you, right? But around here, they have this nasty little habit of stopping their shopping carts right in the middle of the aisle and talking to each other for, I swear to God, hours. It's like, don't you talk to each other at church? Don't you go to like functions and stuff? Can't you tell each other whatever's going on in your lives then? But they do. They stop right there and they talk for hours and hours and hours. And you're going through and you're shopping and you're trying to get by. And they just ignore you. I don't know how many polite times I have had to say, excuse me, I would like to get by. And the thing about it is they don't just move. They finish their conversation, not just the sentence, not the thought, but like the whole paragraph. They finish it. Then they'll look at you. Then they'll move their cart and you can go by. But it takes another 10 minutes for them to get the hell out of the way. So today, in particular, there was a woman. She was middle-aged. She looked real put together, real nice. She looked kind of like a real estate agent or whatever. And she was going through the store, and I noticed that she was with a friend, I guess is what it was. But they each had a cart, and they were pushing, but they weren't like passing each other and talking. They were pushing together and stopping and talking in all the aisles. And I thought, okay, cool, whatever. I just need to get my deodorant and my toothpaste, And so I found that as I moved throughout the store, I kept running into them, and they were always talking in the aisle that I wanted to be in. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go down this aisle, and it's in the craft aisle where all the fabric is and everything, and I'm just looking at fabrics and stuff, and there was some stuff I wanted to look at, and they were standing right in the way, like right in front of it. They weren't looking at nothing. They were just talking. And so I waited, and I put my hands on my fat little hips, and I started tapping my foot, and they didn't move. And I said, excuse me, could I just sneak past you right there and look at that stuff? And I swear to God, the real estate lady, she stopped talking. She didn't look at me. She looked at her friend. She stopped talking. She turned her head over, gave me these eyes like a glare. Then she smirked at me. She went like this. And then she went back to her friend and said something real low so I couldn't hear her. She's like, and her friend started laughing. Oh, my Lord. I was like, girl, I'm going to grab you by that scarf and I'm going to hoist you up by your little white pants and I'm going to throw you across this aisle if you're not careful. So they said something about me, I swear to God. But then they moved out of the way all slow like. And I said, okay, thank you. And I went ahead and I was looking at the stuff that I wanted to see. So after I got tired of that, they scuttled off. I don't know where the hell they went. Probably to the aisle with all the insure in case they broke a hip or something. But now I'm pushing around, and then I get over to the aisle with all the party things, like the hats and the plates and the cups that are all the same color and stuff. Because I was thinking about maybe I needed to throw a little dinner party or something to lift my spirits. Well, I get over there. Guess who's there? My two friends. So I was like, okay, I'll come back. And I went around to the other aisle and looked at stuff, and then I came back around and they were still there, just talking, right? And all the paper tablecloths are there, and that's what I wanted to look at. And of course, they're right in front of them. So I was like, excuse me, could I please get to the tablecloths? And the other woman looks at me, and then she looks at her friend, and then her friend, she stops. I swear to God, she has her back to me, and she's pushing her cart the other way. She stops. She turns completely around, looks squarely at me, and like snaps her neck at me. She snapped her damn neck at me. And I was like, excuse me? What are you looking at? And she goes, oh, not much. Oh, diary. Oh, my Lord, diary. My heart was pounding. I swear to God, my ears were ringing. All of the hairs on the back of my neck just stood straight up. And so I said, okay. Well, I was so flustered I couldn't think of a comeback. I was like, well, you would know about that. Felt so stupid. I might as well have said, takes one to know one, or I'm rubber and you're glue. I felt so stupid. So I turned around and I hightailed it out of there, and I could not let it go. I was looking at the basketballs. I was looking at the engine oil through the whole time, and I was all over that store, but my mind was just racing. Well, then I got me an idea. I think Jesus came down, touchdown Jesus, speaking of it, he touched down right there and gave me an idea. So I went on over back to the sporting goods, and I went down the aisle. My nephew plays in the basketball games, and so it gave me an idea. He's a little guy, so he plays those little talk games or whatever. I went down to where the air horns were. And I got the biggest air horn that they had. Okay? And I opened that package right there in that aisle, and I twisted that horn top right onto that can of compressed air, and I went on a hunt. I was hunting for some white pants.